You're at work, noticing your pay stub is 5 hour less than a coworker's. Same job, same hours. In 2021, 1 in 5 U.S. workers faced wage theft, per the National Employment Law Project. Yet employers bet you'll stay silent, like 88% of victims who never report it. This video reveals exactly what to do and why most people still don't. You'll learn how to fight back legally and effectively without losing your job. Your coworker Maria got a raise last month. You didn't. You're both servers at a chain restaurant, but her pay stub shows $16.50 hourly, while yours reads $11.50. You've asked managers, they say we're all paid fairly, but the 2021 NELP study says 1 in 5 workers face wage theft and only 12% report it. You're not alone. In 2019, the EEOC found 67% of discrimination victims never filed a complaint. Fear of retaliation, lack of awareness, or both. Then there's Walmart. In 2018, the company settled a $66.7 million gender discrimination case with the EEOC, admitting female employees were paid less and passed over for promotions. But even after that, the U.S. Department of Labor reported in 2020 that $1.7 billion in unpaid wages were owed to workers. 75% of cases involving small businesses. You're staring at your pay stub, wondering if speaking up will cost you your job. But here's the thing, the law is on your side. The Civil Rights Act of 1964, Title VR, prohibits discrimination based on race, sex, or national origin, and the EOA secured $100.6 million in benefits for victims in 2022 alone. The system isn't perfect, but it's not silent. And neither should you be. You're not alone in this fear. The EEOC's 2019 report shows 67% of discrimination victims never file charges, many because they're told, this is how it is, or you'll be fired if you speak up. But here's the truth, small businesses, which account for 75% of wage theft cases reported in 2020, often exploit workers who don't know their rights. Take Maria, the server you're comparing pay stubs with. She might be one of the 1 in 5 U.S. workers who faced wage theft in 2021, yet only 12% reported it. Why? Because her manager, like many employers, knows silence is the cheapest defense. The system is rigged to let this happen. Marginalized groups, Black workers, LGBTQ+ employees, immigrants, face higher rates of discrimination, but are more likely to stay quiet. Derek Johnson of the NAACP has long argued that systemic distrust in institutions keeps these workers from suing, even when laws like Title VIA exist. And it's not just about fear. 80% of low-wage workers say they can't afford to lose their jobs, per a 2023 Pew Research study. Meanwhile, the rise of gig economy jobs, think Uber drivers, Amazon warehouse workers, has made it harder to prove discrimination, as contracts are often non-traditional and employers are quick to terminate. But here's the kicker, even Walmart, the retail giant, settled a $66.7 million gender discrimination case with the EEOC in 2018. That shows big companies can be held accountable, but what about the small business owner who underpays their staff? The 2020 DAL report says $1.7 billion in unpaid wages were owed, with 75% of cases involving small businesses. These aren't just numbers, they're real people, like you, staring at a pay stub and wondering if speaking up will cost everything. The law isn't silent, it's just that most people don't know how to use it. Title V of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 is your legal shield against workplace discrimination. It explicitly bans employers from making decisions based on your race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. If you're being paid less than a coworker doing the same job, or if you're passed over for promotions because of your gender, that's not just unfair, it's illegal. The EEOC, the federal agency tasked with enforcing Title V, doesn't just take complaints, it fights for you. In 2022, the EEOC secured $100.6 million in monetary benefits for victims, proving that legal action works. But here's the catch. The law only helps if you use it. The Americans with Disabilities Act, passed in 1990, adds another layer of protection. If you have a disability and your employer refuses to accommodate you, like not providing ramps for a wheelchair or adjusting work hours for medical treatments, they're breaking the law. Similarly, the Family and Medical Leave Act, enacted in 1993, ensures you can take unpaid leave for serious health issues or family emergencies without losing your job. These laws weren't just written, they were fought for. Activists, lawyers, and everyday workers like you forced the government to act. Take Walmart's 2018 case against the EEOC. The retail giant admitted to systematically underpaying female employees and denying them promotions, settling for $66.7 million. That's not just a number, it's a precedent. It shows that even the biggest companies can be held accountable. But what about the small business owner who pays you $5 less an hour? The U.S. Department of Labor's 2020 report says $1.7 billion in unpaid wages are owed to workers, with 75% of cases involving small businesses. The law exists for them too. The question is, will you use it? Here's what you can do right now, step by step. First, document everything. Save every pay stub, email, text message, and incident report. If you're being paid less than a coworker doing the same job, take screenshots of your pay stub and compare it to theirs. The 2021 LP study shows 1 in 5 workers face wage theft, but only 12% report it. So your documentation is your first line of defense. If you're being discriminated against, write down dates, times, and details of any unfair treatment. This isn't just for your records. It's evidence the EEOC will use if you file a charge. Next, file a charge with the EEOC. The EEOC's 2022 data shows $100.6 million in monetary benefits secured for victims. Proof that legal action works. Go to their website or call them directly. You have 180 days from the date of the incident to file, but don't wait. The EEOC will investigate and may even mediate a resolution before it goes to court. If your case is strong, they'll push for back pay, reinstatement, or other remedies. If you're unsure where to start, seek legal aid. Organizations like the NAACP, led by Derek Johnson, and legal experts like UC Hastings' Kevin Johnson have long highlighted how systemic barriers prevent marginalized workers from suing. Many states offer free legal clinics for low-income workers. Use them. You don't need a fancy law degree to know your rights, just a willingness to fight. Finally, contact the U.S. Department of Labor's review suspect wage theft. Their 2020 report shows $1.7 billion in unpaid wages owed, with 75% of cases involving small businesses. File a complaint through their wage and hour division. They'll investigate and, if they find violations, can force employers to pay what's owed. This isn't just about money, it's about holding employers accountable. You don't have to face this alone. The law is on your side, but you have to use it. The bigger picture isn't just about individual cases. It's about a system designed to keep people like you silent. The EEOC's 2019 report shows 67% of discrimination victims never file charges, but that's not just a statistic. It's a reflection of decades of systemic barriers. Marginalized workers, Black employees, LGBTQ+ individuals, immigrants face higher rates of discrimination, yet are more likely to stay quiet. Derek Johnson of the NAACP has long warned that systemic distrust in institutions keeps these groups from suing even when laws like Title V exist. It's not just fear of retaliation, it's a deep-seated belief that the system won't help them. Take the gig economy, where workers like Uber drivers or Amazon warehouse employees often lack traditional employment contracts. The rise of these jobs has made it harder to prove discrimination, as employers can terminate workers instantly with no recourse. Yet the law still applies. The ADA, passed in 1990, requires employers to accommodate disabilities, but gig workers may not even know they're protected. Similarly, the FMLA, enacted in 1993, ensures unpaid leave for health or family emergencies, but if you're an independent contractor, you might not qualify. Policy reforms are pushing back. Advocates like Lisa S. Foster of the NELP have pushed for stricter penalties for employers who violate wage laws, citing the 2020 DAL report that $1.7 billion in unpaid wages are owed, 75% involving small businesses. Legal aid groups are expanding outreach, but gaps remain. The Walmart VA case, which settled for $66.7 million in 2018, set a precedent that even the largest companies can be held accountable. But what about the small business owner who underpays their staff? The law exists for them too. The question is, will you use it? The fight for justice isn't just about lawsuits. It's about changing the culture that lets silence win. Every time someone files a charge with the EEOC, every time a worker reports wage theft, they're not just fighting for themselves. They're fighting for everyone who's been told to stay quiet. And that's how change starts.